Welcome to MojoPlays, and today we're looking at upcoming DLC that has us excited to jump back into their games.
In that forsaken place, blood must spill. Blood of your fellows.
Before we begin, we publish new videos all week long, so be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. Vessel of Hatred, Diablo IV. There's no denying that Blizzard has fallen from grace, both in terms of games and its PR. But despite its heavy microtransactions and the studio's meddling in mechanics, Diablo IV is still a pretty solid action RPG. And if everything goes according to plan, Vessel of Hatred should make it even better. The game's first major expansion will bring a new class and a new region, which consists of new and familiar locations. The story picks up right at the end of the base game, and will focus on Mephisto, a key villain in the series, and the Lord of Hatred. There's still a lot we don't know, such as what the new class is, so we'll have to keep an eye on it before it releases in late 2024. Episode Aegis, The Answer, Persona 3 Reload.
私はメティス。あなたを守るために来ました。
The upcoming DLC for Persona 3 Reload is an interesting case, as some players will have already experienced it. Similar to the base game, Episode Aegis, The Answer is a remake of the epilogue released for previous versions of Persona 3. It was originally around 30 hours long, with a new dungeon to explore and a playable party member, the android Metis. Players can expect the same quality of life changes and minor new additions, like Thurges, found in the base remake. The only downside is that it's part of the expansion pass and can't be purchased separately. Players can go ahead and pick up the expansion pass for extra goodies, though they'll have to wait until September for more story content. The Watcher, Rainworld. For those unfamiliar, Rainworld is a deceptively tough survival platformer. It was so hard to figure out what to do on release that it pushed a lot of players away. Thankfully, developer Video Cult issued several updates to make things more manageable, leading to a sizable cult following. Fans have such passion for it, in fact, that it received an expansion titled Downpour in early 2023, nearly 6 years after the game launched. Well, those fans were likely ecstatic to hear that a second piece of DLC was coming, titled The Watcher. Sadly, there's no definitive release date, and specific details are under wraps, but players can expect new environments and creatures to survive and outsmart, which is what Rainworld does best. Gold Road, The Elder Scrolls Online.
While the Wood Elves in the region seem friendly and is bemused by the situation as the displaced Imperials, Count wants to find out what happened, and how he can keep from losing any more of his realm.
Like any MMORPG that receives constant updates, The Elder Scrolls Online has had its highs and lows. But we feel nothing but excitement for its next expansion, Gold Road. It releases on June 3rd, 2024, a little over 10 years after ESO's launch, and Bethesda seems to be pulling out all the stops for its anniversary. We'll journey to a land first seen in 2006's Oblivion, which should delight longtime fans, though we'll focus on a new Daedric Prince. In addition to the new story content, which will reportedly take 30 hours, players will be able to experience new dungeons, bosses, and other events, as well as new gameplay features.
Since ESO's launch, we've added a ton of new areas for players to explore across all corners of Tamriel and even the realms of Oblivion.
New story DLC, Prince of Persia, The Lost Crown. Yes, we don't even have a name for it, but The Lost Crown was such a phenomenal Metroidvania that we can't help but get excited. Like basically every other game the company releases, Ubisoft announced a post-launch DLC roadmap for the latest Prince of Persia back in March. While much of it will be free, the story content set for sometime in late 2024 will cost us, though Ubisoft hasn't revealed the price as of writing. Since the main plot focused on time travel and different versions of characters, there's a lot of room to branch out in terms of story. But as long as it brings the same intensity in its bosses and trap-filled obstacles as the base game, we'll be happy. Dawntrail, Final Fantasy XIV.
I dare say our destination will soon be in sight.
Enjoying yourself for a change?
Every expansion that Final Fantasy XIV gets is grounds for players to celebrate. Dawntrail, releasing on July 2nd, 2024, will be its 5th. These expansions are truly gigantic, and Dawntrail will suitably follow in their footsteps. It brings a whole new continent itself, which has new cities, dungeons, raids, and characters. It isn't just new content players will enjoy. There will be 2 new job types in Viper and Pictomancer, a new playable race in the female Hrothgar, and the level cap will increase from 90 to 100. There's no telling how long it will take to experience everything that's new, so if you're a fan, better clear some time this July. Night Springs and the Lake House. Alan Wake 2.
Any words of advice?
Nothing that would cheer anyone up.
It's always a nice surprise to get an unexpected sequel over a decade after the original, but it was an even bigger surprise to see how successful Alan Wake 2 turned out to be, at least in a critical sense. A big award winner for developer Remedy, the studio announced DLC plans shortly before launch. First up will be Night Springs, which will bring characters inside the fictional titular TV show that connects several games from Remedy's catalog. The second will be the Lake House, which will focus on a strange government facility where something inevitably goes wrong. Not many more details are known about either. Both only have a general 2024 release window, but we know the studio will deliver.
We need to be ready if Scratch shows up. We'll be ready.
Throes of the Watchmaker, Sea of Stars. Sabotage Studios' Sea of Stars was the breakout indie hit of 2023, an RPG combining retro stylings of games like Chrono Trigger with enough modern advancements to make everything smoother. Sabotage used Kickstarter to fund the project, with the Throes of the Watchmaker DLC being a stretch goal it more than surpassed. It will follow the heroes helping out the Watchmaker, an important NPC from the base game. There's a lot we don't know, there's no release window yet, or many other specific details. Other than the presumed new story and mechanics, we wouldn't be surprised to get something new with Wheels, the minigame created by the Watchmaker. But we'll just have to be patient until Sabotage is ready to tell us more. The Final Shape, Destiny 2.
Keep moving!
The first Destiny will turn 10 this year. Just like The Elder Scrolls Online, Bungie has something huge planned for the anniversary. The Final Shape will be released on June 4th, 2024, and players had best be prepared. Bungie has advertised this expansion as the ending to the Light and Darkness saga, which began all the way back in 2014. That level of importance, as well as the return of Nathan Fillion as fan favorite Cage 6, is more than enough to drum up excitement. But then you have all the enticing gameplay changes and additions, like a brand new subclass, new enemy types, dungeons, and raids. Needless to say, the Final Shape will be the biggest thing to hit Destiny 2 in a while, and that's saying a lot.
If that thing hits you, it's almost like a rubber band. It like pulls back and like snaps and like pulls you towards that character.
Shadow of the Erdtree, Elden Ring.
Pure and radiant, he wields love to shrive clean the hearts of men. There is nothing more terrifying.
From Software could have given us no details at all, and we would still be overjoyed to return to the lands between. Elden Ring is one of the best games the studio has released thus far, and the Shadow of the Erdtree DLC looks and sounds monumental. It will take us to the Land of Shadow, where we'll uncover new history and lore about the world. Director Hidetaka Miyazaki has stated the new area will be around the size of Limgrave, around 10 to 15% of the base map's size. Pretty big for DLC. Of course, then there are all the new weapons, enemies, bosses, quests, and magic to sink our teeth into, something we cannot wait to do on June 20th, 2024.
I will not be far behind. May we meet again.
What upcoming DLC are you excited for?
Crushed Hercules. No one sang about it.
Share your thoughts in the comments, and be sure to subscribe to MojoPlays for more great gaming videos every day.